was reading it, I literally was like shocked. I was like, oh my God.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the animated manga podcast where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Josh Senpai Michaels. And today, as always, I am joined by...
Megan Annoying Perrine.
Cody is Decker.
Okay, all right. I like it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today we are going to be discussing the first volume, and I guess just our thoughts and feelings on My Senpai is Annoying as a whole. We're reworking, yet again, our Volume 1 structure, tightening things up, giving you more of our general thoughts, vibe, feelings, what we like, what we don't like, highlights, as opposed to maybe a walkthrough of the first volume. We want these videos to be a resource for you to tell if it's going to be, so that you can tell if it's going to be something you're going to be into or not, as opposed to a walkthrough of the entire first volume. Therefore, they might end up being a little shorter, but it is all for the benefit of the channel and for the benefit of you, the viewer and the listener. So Cody, Megan, actually, you're the one who wanted to talk about this. I've seen peripherally while you watch episodes of it. I've seen it in the background. Love it. Cody, I don't know if you knew anything about this going into it. I assume not. But Cody, Megan, whoever wants to go first, what did you know about this series? How did you feel going into it? What did you expect going into it? Take it away.
I knew nothing. I expected basically just what they show on the cover there of like him patting her head and being like, "What are you doing? Stop it!" And then him laughing. And then she's like blushing, and you're like, that's pretty much the story.
Yeah.
I saw that it had 20 chapters, and at first I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
No freaking way does this story go on that long.
Yeah.
And it's like a news strip type story.
Yeah.
Where it's all just bits. And it didn't even, there are stories like this where then they wrap it up at the end with a little story. They didn't even do that part.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, there is continuity. But I got for me, it was a pretty standard tsundere story.
Slice of life, office life. It's beautiful. It's cute. It's wholesome. Megan, what about you?
I had seen this circling around before it came out this season. The anime, that is. I never really saw the manga art inside. I only saw the cover. And based off the cover, I had my thoughts about it because this kind of goes into what I thought was going to be a what is it? Uzaki-chan situation, maybe a little bit of Nagatoro, just the type of story that I don't know, maybe I guess I want to say lewd, but not really. From this cover alone, I was like, what is going to happen? Yeah. This girl looks very young. Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be not wholesome? And I was so pleasantly surprised. It is the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. It is one of the best anime out this season. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and go watch it because every episode is just so cute. And I want to talk roughly about the differences between the first even couple pages of this versus the anime, not only the pacing, but the verbiage.
And oh, really?
It's way more adult. He's treating her like an adult in this, and in the anime, he's not really doing that.
Interesting.
It is a weird choice. Yeah. He says a line in here. I was like, whoa. He's way more open to jabbing her and making jokes about her appearance, where in the anime he's just oh, you're so cute, and it's really weird. It's really weird.
Because I didn't feel like it was aggressive in the manga at all.
No.
It's not. To me, it's aggressive because he's not saying this. I'm 6 episodes in.
So it's the opposite of usually they tone down the lewdness in the manga, and instead they're let's spice it up.
I kind of like it.
You like the manga more?
Not more, but I can watch the anime and be oh, wholesome, cute, and then I can go to the manga and be this is the shit.
And just for anybody that hasn't read or watched it, I don't think that just because it's different that it is lewd at all.
No.
And I didn't even get the sense that he was being more forward or being more aggressive. It did seem very normal. It did seem very just how you would speak to somebody that you maybe had feelings for.
In the manga, it is more implied that they have similar feelings, and in the anime, it seems really one-sided.
On which part?
On her part, she's starting to like him, And then he's kind of just like, oh, you're so cute. You know, I wish I had a daughter like you, and like shit like that in the anime more, and versus him being like, and here, like, I don't know.
It felt more of just like two coworkers or like, you know, that risk of like, well, like, aren't there like rules against that? And it'll be awkward if it doesn't.
Well,
I feel like that was the territory they were like.
In the manga, yeah. In the anime, it just seems like he's just like, I don't know. Like it's hard to explain. It's not as mutual
in the anime,
here.
she gets daughter zoned.
Daughter zoned.
She does get daughter zoned a little bit in the manga too. There is that conversation between the two of them where he's like, yeah, if I had a wife and a daughter, I'd want my daughter to be like you. But I do still get the sense that like, yeah, maybe she's a little more confused about how she's feeling towards her senpai, her coworker, but he is, I don't think he's, at least in the first volume, admitted to himself or to anybody else that he has these feelings for her, but he does admit that he likes taking care of her and that he likes helping her and that there's something about her that makes him want to do those things. But I don't feel like it's necessarily even equal in the manga either.
It's not equal, but just the way he talks to her in the manga makes it seem like, oh, he's talking to an adult woman.
Okay.
Versus in the anime, he's talking to like a child.
Like a little girl.
Yeah.
I also expected him to be annoying with how like boisterous he is. And because the title's My Senpai is annoying, but he seems just like a chill dude.
Bro, he seems like the chillest dude ever.
So like she's the annoying one.
I think she's just annoying.
She like gets wild. Like she has more of like a crazy like personality.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's cute, but it also is that she is the more immature one and that she is the one overthinking everything and making things a bigger deal than they are. And he's just like, it almost feels like in the manga, he's like, yeah, this is what adults do. They like each other. They go out, they do stuff. And she's like, oh my God, I don't know if I should feel this way about him. And he's like, it happens. Let's just go to a bar and talk about our day and see where it goes. You know, I don't know. Either way. So it's it's an anime that just came out this season. Anime's beautiful, by the way. The little I've seen of it. But what studio is doing the anime?
Studio Doga Kobo. They've done like Umaru-chan. They've done New Game. They've done Yudu Yuri.
Yeah, you
and
like Umaru.
Plastic Memories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you like Umaru.
Okay,
You might not remember what it's called, but you like it. Yeah.
It's the little one that.
Oh, with the hamster?
Yeah.
I forgot that's one of my favorite animes. When we did that's the problem when you're doing all this. Like I forgot, like, oh, I was obsessed with that show.
So they've done heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters, a lot of cute shit. Okay, a lot of cute shit. So, you know, amazing. And it is like interesting. I mean, obviously, I want to continue it, but it is interesting, like the dialogue choices that he says to her. He never said that in the anime. Like he does say, like, "Oh, I'm a middle-aged man. Like you wouldn't want to go after me." He never once really mentioned his age in the anime. I think they just keep that like ambiguous because like he's aware that like I don't know, like he's like saying it out loud, like, "Oh, you know, you wouldn't want to hit on me." Like it's never said in the anime. It's just like an unsaid like thing with him. Like he never would have said
Speaking of unsaid, you said how much you love this, and I think what we're all tiptoeing around is what about this female character do you find like appealing and like how you're just
how are you connecting with her as a character?
Yeah, what exactly? Because this guy was like a normal guy.
Yeah. You know how opposites like attract?
Yeah,
that's kind of what's happening.
So it's because you like how not similar to this female character that you are.
Yeah, like I you know, when I think about it, really, you know, like I do collect stuffed animals. I do like cute stuff. I do.
Now physically,
she's not even on my radar.
Not even a little.
She is very. She is little.
She is a little.
She is little.
She's a little.
She is little. Yeah.
And she's definitely shorter than me. There's no way. And she's younger than me. I mean, she still has time to grow.
How do you know her
She's
age?
20.
She's 20?
Yeah, I'm almost 24.
I'm gonna break it to you. We don't get a second growth spurt. It's over.
What?
Yeah, no, there's not one waiting for you at like 25.
Yeah. And I'm really sorry that you had to find out here of all places in front of all of our beautiful viewers and listeners, but this is kind of where you're capped out.
You've maxed leveled already.
Yeah. And so has she. And you know, she's gone off to do great things, as will you. It is something. It is funny that she keeps talking about it during the anime too. She keeps talking about how her height is something that she feels like gets in her way, and everybody
whole
treats her
time
like a child.
I'm reading this. I'm just like, oh, I wonder why this was just.
No, you know what? It's not like for that being maybe like some guy's fantasy, I guess.
No, I'm referring to why did our group make a decision to read this?
Because I like the story, and I think it's very compelling and cute.
And I don't even want to say guy's fantasy, dude. I think this might be some, this might be some women's fantasy too.
Yeah, and that's maybe
every
why I chose
girl wants a guy taller than her, and every guy wants a girl shorter.
Yeah, but
that's not true.
Hey, okay, there's like 5 people.
But I think that
look at that laugh.
For that being what they're maybe like selling you on by the cover, which you said you were even hesitant to pick it up or to check it out because you already thought it was going to be that. It's not fan servicey at all. It's not about that at all.
It's surprisingly mature.
I was expecting, like, looking at this cover, you guys, like I was just like, okay, here's with the lolly shit again. Here's with like this, whatever. And I was genuinely surprised that it isn't necessarily this.
You looked at the cover, said, "Here's what the lolly shit again," and then you picked it up.
Well, I mean, you gotta make sure.
Yeah, I just had to check.
Yeah,
and
you gotta make sure.
And she wears a suit, and no, but honestly, like, it's appreciation for women that are older that look a certain way and
that are hardworking
younger
society
and who have office. I have an office job. I work a 9 to 5.
That's what I was thinking about. Is you have a very similar job to this?
I wish I could wear a suit. Maybe I could.
And I will say that
in fact, you tried to find one.
Yeah, I did. They didn't fit me.
Why didn't they fit you, by the way?
Because it needed to be a petite size. We don't have to get into this on the podcast.
Yeah, they didn't have a petite section at that store.
No, they had a small.
They had a small, but that's for
something about it.
That's for small adults.
Oh.
The senpai even here too does look a little gutsy. I will say.
Yeah, black spiky hair, tall,
built, wide, broad.
I've seen some other panels, and all I can say is I'm very excited to keep reading.
Yeah, there's also some stuff from the anime that is wild.
Does he take his shirt off at some point?
Oh, yeah.
And then he stands there like, or does he stand there like, what are you looking at?
No.
No.
It happens in like a crazier way, I feel.
Did his shirt get stuck in like the copy machine?
No.
And there's another panel.
The fax machine.
They go to the beach.
Did you just swallow loud enough for it to be picked up on a mic?
For the beach episode?
Yeah, there's a beach episode really soon. It's 6 episodes in. Maybe we could talk about like the pacing. What do you guys feel about, like, you said like there's some parts that weren't even like really finished?
Well, yeah, go ahead. But I also don't want to forget to talk about the art too.
Yeah.
Well, not unfinished. It just felt like a weekly comic strip where it's just like, and then she's like, oh, thanks, senpai. I'm like, all right, no, that story's done now. Like they are like very short chapters, but it's like, 5 chapters of story, just like, oh yeah, she was shy about that. Okay. They continue from like, remember when I was sick? But like, there wasn't like, how like, what was that manga we did where it was just like, it'd be like, oh, here's like a slice of life. Spy X Family kind of does like the thing where it's like, here's like a little like independent thing. And then here's the arc to like at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like this lacked that like big story part. So it just kept being like, and then she's like sick and wants help. And then she's recovering and wants help. And now they're getting soup or something.
Yeah, it is very, I think, it's very slice of lifey, in that some have like that overarching or arcing story that,
I think both count, don't they?
Yeah,
Can you do arc and arch?
In the critique corner of our Discord, we had someone politely tell me that I was using the word weary wrong. And so now I'm in my head about how I'm using wary and weary.
Is it making you weary of using wary?
And if you said it wrong, they're coming for you next.
I think I did. Wait, did I say wary?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know.
You said, are you weary for the way you say wary?
Well, are you tired of it? Because now I think I said it wrong too.
Oh,
Are you
got
wary
him,
of how
got
you say
him.
weary?
Got him.
Yeah, I'm maybe not going to use those words anymore.
It's tough.
Oh.
It's tough
Yeah.
out here.
Not in an all way, but just
Yeah,
like
that-
in a,
yeah.
But in like
sometimes.
like in
No,
a, yeah.
as in like okay.
Yeah, like in an okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
As
So
in like
just fuck
doesn't
me,
even
right?
yeah doesn't even warrant a reaction.
You are the one who had a reaction that was a pity towards me.
I got
and then
it,
say,
I got
"Oh, fuck me."
I know how to handle this. Meow.
We're back, baby.
How does it feel? Fucking.
First, you tell me I'm not gonna get another growth spurt, plus you near me on the podcast.
You were the originator of the meow. The meow came from you.
Actually, I'm not. It's actually a Jeff Dunham.
Well, he didn't. He didn't.
so now
he
you're-
didn't come
now
up
you're-
with saying that. That wasn't a Jeff Dunham thing. He just had a character do that.
Yeah.
You can't be.
Yeah, I don't think he invented the air over the head joke.
No.
When a joke goes over the head.
He just had a
pantomime.
character who would use that.
Okay.
Jesus, this is what I don't.
But now you're citing
Jeff Dunham invented being like, no, he didn't get it flew over their head.
What I will say that I think Cody you nailed is that it is a comic strip vibe. The length is like very comic strippy, but you also touched on the continuity of it. The stories are self-contained in a page or two,
But they carry over, which I did like because I
Love it.
was starting to expect it to just be like every short story, and then it's like and then nothing progresses. But but it's just that they don't like. It's not like remember it's that you're not reading it and you're like, oh, they foreshadow this.
Yeah,
in the,
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the art in this specific manga
how many
physical edition.
this?
Points does color in a manga add for you? When they do it right, because sometimes they don't do it right.
I mean,
Sometimes they don't do it right.
But this feels like because it'll like stay in black and white for sections, and then they'll add
Yeah.
color.
Well, and that's what I've said before when I've talked about this, is that it almost feels like it's colored so that you get a better sense of the emotion
mhm.
rather than being colored so you can get a better idea of what the surroundings look like, or what the color of people's clothes are, but more so the color of their emotions and what they're feeling.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it adds so much more weight to it. It's a hold it up to the camera a little bit more, maybe flip through it, Megan.
Now, does the anime carry over that same sense of color shading to convey emotion?
No, it's all just colored.
Oh, okay.
Let me find a. No, it is all discolored, but
Because now that
we
you
have
pointed
some-
it out, I'm like, yeah, that does add a lot to this. Oh, it's not the okay.
we have some like beautiful pages here, and there's some like cut pages with little illustrations. Let me find a better one here. But yeah, like Josh was saying, it'll be like really like crude color, and
Yeah, it's
then
not
out
even
of
in the
no
lines all
out
the
of-
time.
out of nowhere it'll just have like moments like these where like the colors get really really warm and like light.
And yeah, that's what it's really, I think, using is light to
Mhm.
convey these emotions to and their weight. It's so, like I said, like how it's not perfectly colored in the lines. It's very watercolory. And the quality of the paper too is it's one of those papers that also just like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for stationery.
You're a
and
stationary
paperweights.
sucker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe I'm just a sucker
Oh, that's why they call you that at the.
when we go to Staples. Yeah. That's
You're a
what they call it.
staple stationary sucker. The triple S.
I'm the triple S.
This is the second time you've propositioned something being triple S.
Really?
Yeah.
One more time, and then that'll be a triple S.
Oh.
But I think it's awesome. And I think that, yeah, even though Cody, yeah, you make a good point, it doesn't carry over into the anime. I think that the anime's still done really well, and it's just colored more traditionally or animated more traditionally.
I mean, it is fun though. I mean, we read a lot of manga, and usually there are some color, but usually standard black and white. So when we do get color, it's like, this
And
is
I don't
great.
always need color. How do you guys feel about color? Because
No.
Shadow House is the only other thing that has been like colored, front to
Shadow
back.
House had to be because they have characters that are pure like black.
Mm-hmm.
Or not had to be, but it really helped that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of manga where the drawing style does get lost when they add, like in anime,
Mhm.
when especially because they don't carry in the depth and like that like edginess that the line gives them. And it's like it was like drawn to be in black and white.
Yeah.
Well, there's people that read One Piece online colored.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of fans out there that take it upon themselves to color panels and pages from manga. We've seen that even with newer series that don't have I guess now they have more physical copies out, but with Dan there were people coloring certain panels and posting them online.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like I like looking that up to see like, oh yeah, like that looks nice in color.
Mm-hmm.
But like reading the whole manga, it would be like I mean they have to take gambles on how the color is even gonna translate to. You know, it's like his hoodie alone, you're like, what color is it? That like matters.
Yeah, no, yeah. And yeah, I get what you're saying, how it's meant and it's drawn with the artist knowing that this is going to be in black and white. So they're making choices based on that, you know. And so when you do just color over one of those images, it might not capture exactly what they were going for.
If you drag the bucket over and you fill in, all right, I'll just fill in their skin tone, and you're like, oh, that makes it way more clean now than like it was when it was in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if it's like drawn to be in color.
And that's why I think this is a perfect in between of like being colored and still being kind of not colored at the same time. Like you guys said, there's some whole panels like where there's no color at all. And then in the next panel, there is color. So I think this is like a perfect balance of the two. It does make it feel more like a manga. It does make it feel honestly a little bit more worth buying.
Totally.
I guess too.
Totally. This was retail, what, 15?
Not bad.
Not bad. And it is.
Cody, yikes.
Yeah, it's not bad if you're into this.
Yeah, if you like collecting
Yeah.
manga, it's not bad. It's not necessarily a standard price.
Yeah.
I do think that like if it's in color, like that is like way more work. So it is like it's like coloring it, like that costs more too.
Yeah.
That's why like black and white's like more popular.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Go ahead. No,
Sorry,
go ahead, Megan.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, back to like the dialogue, I wanted to just point this out. Like this is like a scene that was really impactful in the anime too, is when they're like talking at the bar and she's like drinking and then he's like, oh, I wish I had a kid or like, you know, like you. And she's like, why can't I be your wife? And then he just kind of blows it off and he's just like, looks like the booze is kicking in. He doesn't say that. He just goes like, okay. And they don't talk about it at all in the anime. Yeah. And then he says, the booze was talking to a point and hitting on a middle-aged man like me. I'm fine. I'm sure you'll find a good guy. Of course, if you want to land a rich guy, you'll need to grow taller, not to mention those boobs.
Is that
now,
what
about that?
It does a bit. It does a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was reading it. I literally was like shocked. I was like, oh my God. Like,
it's interesting that you were so shocked because I mean, not knowing how he is in the anime, I had nothing to reference. So I was like, that seems like a
like adult, like guy who's like,
exactly.
I'm not gonna assume that anything is.
I'm not gonna assume her drunk talk is like a confession of love. That'd be wild to think that.
Yeah,
I know, and I'm sure you seem really womanly to a very unique kind of guy too. Like he's not making these little jabs at her. He's just like the guy who's nice and who is professional in their relationship, and he's like tiptoeing the line of. I mean, obviously, like he's friendly with her, so he could say these things, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little spicier in the manga, which I'm not hurt by.
Yeah, it seems like you'd maybe like the manga a little bit more. I don't know.
I mean, depending on if they are just like kind of easing their way into this type of relationship with them and like taking their time, because right off the bat he's saying these things versus like if they wait a little bit longer, it might have more of an impact watching.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously I bought volume 1, I bought volume 2.
So you're saying in the manga it's more raunchy than in the anime?
Yeah. I wouldn't even say raunchy.
Yeah, I don't think raunchy is the right word.
I would.
Yeah, I guess to use a word, yeah, but I don't even think that
spice. It's got a little more spice.
He has a little more.
I would say he's just got a little more edge to him. Maybe,
yeah,
but not even that.
In the anime, more forward.
He's more forward, more adult with her because he's talking to her about like adult things.
In the anime, I think she's saying he's sweeter, he's kinder, he's just more of that like person who's just there to help, and he's not making these little jabs or he's not.
Because in this, it feels like he's tiptoeing.
She's saying that he's tiptoeing more in the anime.
Okay.
Or not, he's not tiptoeing, he's not saying anything about, like, he's just, like, being, like, like you said, like, being a person for her and, like, helping her out when she needs it and being, like, that work relationship. This is, like, crossing the line of, like, oh, we're friends, like, we're adults, we could joke about shit like this, versus in the anime, it's very, like, I'm going to, like, friend, like, it's pretty much like a, what is it, friend zone? Yeah. Like, he completely,
Frozone.
Frozone.
Yeah.
He completely kind of did that to her. And it's kind of like getting there, but I was really shocked when I was reading this.
Cody, I know you're not a slice of life guy, but were there any highlights, if any, or what was a highlight for you maybe in this?
There's probably zero highlights in the story.
Is there a standout chapter or a standout, moment?
I feel like the drunk talk was like the most like, I don't know, standout writing moment.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of reading this, I was just like, yeah, I'd rather be reading Nagatoro.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Because one for Josh.
Yeah.
Win for Josh.
I didn't hate Nagatoro. I just thought they did a lot of weird things with like angles and stuff, which they they toned down in the anime. But I just felt like this lacked like a little thing to like elevate it for me in like a story. It felt more just like an actual slice of life.
Yeah.
Without like, there's that one that Megan shows us where then there's like robots and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. This didn't even feel like it didn't even feel like it was trying to be a comedy. Like I don't think that's not what it is. That's not a criticism.
Yeah, no.
But like there are slices like when they have comedy, like okay, I can enjoy this part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but this is just a little.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a criticism to say this is what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would agree. I don't think it's trying to be a comedy. And so by saying that it's not necessarily funny, I don't think is a criticism of it.
No.
But yeah, if there was a highlight for me, I'd say it was the relationship between the two of them. I mean, it was.
I guess the highlight is it's an adult relationship.
Yeah.
Did you like the other relationship that was kind of hinted at?
Between who and who?
The other two coworkers. I have the character names written down here just in case, but I don't know if that's going to help. Cody out, Kazuma and Sakurai.
Those guys seem like the more like obvious, like that would be like a more generic, like the way their design is too. I think that's why they're in the the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely background characters. I mean, when you even compare this to a series like maybe Wotakoi, which is Love is Hard for an Otaku, which is another like slice of life, adult relationship, even workplace sort of series. I think Wotakoi just has some like so much more, I guess, heart. This does have wholesome moments, and their relationship is adult and sweet, but it is a lot of, she gives off kind of a Gretzko vibes too, a little bit. Just her and her little, business outfit. Yeah, I think that it is a good depiction of an adult relationship. I think he in the manga is a lot better at realizing that these are just things that happen, and she is the one who is the more annoying of the two. Not that she's annoying, but just.
But if you were going to say who's the annoying one here, it wouldn't be the guy who's just like, "How are you doing? Good, great." It would be the girl who's like,
but maybe it's annoying how hot he is.
I think that's what it means.
Well,
I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means. My senpai is so annoying. Like, he's so annoying. Like, when you say it like that, it changes it from like, he's so annoying.
It's funny. You said annoying like that, and annoying is kind of highlighted on the cover.
Oh my God, he's like so annoying.
And I just noticed this. There's a little thing to point out that she's saying that.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah, it's like something that she says in denial. Like,
he's annoying. Do you like him? No, he's annoying.
She's literally thinking about him before bed. Like, let me get sleep.
That, I think, I guess a highlight would be like when her roommate's just like, can you like quiet down? I'm like, what is she doing? That's making all,
she was thinking lots of things.
Yeah. I thought like if there was going to be like a thing the anime could like modify to be a little crazier, it would be that scene.
Yeah. Megan, what was a highlight for you though? Like if you're trying to recommend this or going to recommend this to anybody, like what is something you would try to sell them on when it comes to this?
I did like the little flashback to when they first met. That was pretty cute. And I also did like the when she messed up at work and she was just like, oh, like I'm so stupid. I'm such an idiot. Like I messed up on the papers. And then she leaves him like a little, like just like little things, like leaving like a little, or like him buying something for her or her doing something for him, like little things like that. I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. But I would say the beer thing, the bar would be like, that's when I was watching the episode, I was like, I think I sent you guys me watching it. And I was just like, oh my God.
The bar, that's when she like says like, why can't I be your?
Yeah.
So like that was like the highlight of or for you were saying?
I think that was the most impactful moment because it just shows like sets it up like she feels this way and he kind of feels another way about her and it's like how is this gonna work? Yeah. And that really hooked me as a reader and a watcher because it's not like something like Kimi ni Todoke where it's kind of like already off the bat, you kind of know.
It's already pulling at your heartstrings.
yeah.
This is cozy.
Yeah, this is cozy read, and watch, honestly. But I would say if you want a little more spice, I would say stick with the manga.
We've already said spice of life, right?
Spice.
Oh, maybe we have, maybe we haven't, but I think we can say it again.
We can apply that to something.
Yeah. I will say that compared also to other slice of life series that are out this season, we've talked about Volume 1 of Komi Can't Communicate. Komi is airing right now with My Senpai is Annoying. Between the two of them, I think obviously if you're looking for something a little more adult and a little more maybe grounded in reality, I guess. Not that Komi isn't, but
it,
you know
no,
what I mean.
It isn't.
Because if you watched, there's a couple episodes that they just released recently where it is getting wilder and wilder.
Do monsters start happening? Or?
No, but I mean, just the type of people who are starting to vie for Komi's attention and are really trying to like get her to communicate. They are aggressively trying to befriend her in weirder and weirder ways, and they're getting more and more intense about how obsessed. I mean,
no, yeah.
Intense?
There's a girl that's like I mean, it's not really a spoiler, is it?
I don't think it's a little moment. It's a slice of life. I think it's fine to say.
Okay, there's just a character that's like I think we read a little bit about her in the first volume of the manga. She had the glasses, and you were like, oh, like she's like super nervous, and she thinks that she can't talk to Komi because she's like ugly, but she's not ugly. It's just like, oh, I have glasses. You remember her?
Yeah, she's not drawn ugly.
Yeah.
It's just glasses is her only issue.
Yeah, she pretty much like wants to be Komi's dog. So she's like, can I lick your
I'll check it out.
She's like, can I lick your shoes? Like, can you like put me on a collar? Like, I'll do anything for you. And she's like it's crazy.
There's a girl who is like sneaking behind Komi, picking her hair out and putting it in her mouth, and like they'll animate like the inside of her mouth, and it's full of saliva, and her tongue dancing around the strand of hair. yeah. So that's what I mean by like aggressive, dude.
Well, you know, you were right.
And
it's pretty aggressive.
And
is that the word for that?
There's a little in the latest episode, I think you get to see Mommy Komi.
And then she's like hot.
She looks exactly
yeah, she just looks like her, but she has like one line next to her eye.
No, not even that.
She looks exactly like her with shorter hair.
Oh, I was gonna guess longer. So there we go. All right, a little twist.
Yeah, a little twist for the Komi heads.
Very cute. I mean, every episode, Komi is just like adorable. I think that I am more excited to watch Senpai is Annoying every week that it comes out.
I've said that I agree with you. Like, I think only reason I brought up Komi at all was to compare them because they are airing simultaneously this season right now, currently as of this recording. But I think My Senpai is Annoying is something that I gravitate to more than Komi, even though people are going crazy for Komi right now. I think that this is just because of its adult themes and its depiction of those relationships.
You know that song, "Call Me If You Want Me," and then they played
"Call
over
Me When You Want,
Call Me If You Want,
Call Me When You Need, Call Me in the Morning, I'll be on the way."
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, we can close on that.
I mean, that's a great way to close. Any final thoughts that you guys have?
Okay.
Well, I mean, is there anything else that we needed to say?
I mean, it's a slice of life, right? So, like, you can't really get too in-depth with a story without, like, what else are you supposed to get when you then read it? Like, oh, they're right. They did then go get soup after.
Yeah, and for volume 1, like, instead of going through beat by beat, like, that's why, I was asking you guys what stood out to you, what were highlights to you, just so that if it is something that you want to read, it's not completely spoiled for you, or if you have already read it, then maybe you already know sort of what we're talking about, and maybe agree or disagree with how we feel. But you can let us know that in the comments down below as well.
Yeah, I would highly recommend this series. Read, watch, either or, both, which is what I'm gonna do. And the physical volumes are beautiful, and I would highly recommend it because I am loving it so far.
Yeah. If you like Komi, if you like Love is Hard for an Otaku, if especially Wotakoi, if you're looking for something to fill that sort of hole, then I think My Senpai is Annoying is a perfect replacement or substitute or just a series.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same, but it is similar, and I do think if you like that, you'll really enjoy this a lot. For the main characters and even for the background characters, her friend, everybody else.
Yeah, they do get more. In the anime, they do get more character development, not only in volume 1. So if you're looking forward to those two characters, it is it is blossoming.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below if you've read or watched My Senpai is Annoying, how you feel about it. And if you like keeping these Volume 1 reviews a little tighter, a little shorter, and keeping them more general thoughts, more vibes, more feelings than a play-by-play or a beat-by-beat sort of walkthrough of every event that happens in the first volume. And if it's something you want to see more from us, if this is a series you want to see us review more of, then you can let us know, and then we will do more. We will do more volume sums, volume dones, and yeah, check it out if you like this type of story. And that's gonna, I guess, do it. It feels weird. It feels weird, being done now. But
I guess we're volume done.
Oh.
Well, we're not volume done yet.
We are not volume done yet. We do have to get to our other segment, the Wonder's Circle.
Yes, sir.
The Wonder Circle, if you don't know, is the portion of our show where our super hyper intelligent AI Volume 1-chan goes through the comments that you've left on previous videos, picks a few, she reads them to us, and we respond to them. Yeah, and if you'd like your comment to be read by Volume 1-chan on a future Wonder Circle, all you got to do is leave a comment on this video or any of our previous videos. With all that said, Volume 1-chan, can you take it away and hit us with the first comment, please?
This one comes from Moses Elias.
Love
Drum
this.
Island becomes so underrated later, so I'm glad you guys loved it a lot. It was probably the first time I teared up during One Piece too.
Yeah. Drum Island, best arc so far.
It really is.
Currently where, we're at in our Volume Done or Volume Done Piece reviews, I think Drum Island was a highlight for all of us. And to say that, even hearing Nolan on the episode say that, for as good as we felt like that arc was, that there are arcs that are just so much better that when you look back, it makes Drum Island seem like nothing compared to what's in the future. Is also so exciting.
But even like Moses said, like going on, like you appreciate Drum Island so much more, which I'm interested as to why. Like, because I mean, maybe it's just like fondly looking back on those times and memories and stuff, but like,
Well, he said underrated, so I think that means that like after all the arcs are, Drum Island gets like forgotten.
yeah. And I don't know if I can ever forget how I felt reading Drum Island. It was so good.
I think too that maybe because, we're going through it at the pace and the speed that we are going to go through it, maybe it will resonate with us.
Yeah, we're not waiting weeks and we're not waiting through hiatuses. I don't know if One
Yeah.
Piece ever had hiatuses. But
I don't know if it had hiatuses, maybe filler, but for sure, having to wait weeks and weeks and weeks over the course of years is maybe why it gets forgotten, because it is at the beginning of everything still. Volume 1-chan, can you hit us with the next comment, please?
This one comes from Andre Davis. Cody seems like the kind of guy to tie a shitload of balloons to his roof.
what is
I
he-
wonder why that
why
is.
does that?
Well, because
Why do I seem like a kind of guy to do that?
'Cause
Because
you're
things
a-
are looking up for me.
no, I mean,
No.
Well, I mean, yeah and no, yes and no. Because because while I do get the sentiment, like while I do get that, like, yeah, maybe where that character was at when he tied the balloons to his house, like that is sort of kind of like where you're at, but like he had like a whole like happy life before that.
That's a good point. So, God willing, I'll be like the guy from Up.
God willing, truly, what a lucky man to have loved.
Or I'll do the 100 balloons things, but then there's no house and it's just.
Oh my God!
And I'm flying. I'm holding it, and I'm flying is what I meant. I've thought about that. You ever think about just putting like a bunch of helium balloons in like a backpack and like seeing if you can jump around like on the moon? I'm willing to bet it would work.
You would need a lot.
Like 100?
You would need probably more than
I'm
100.
willing to bet 100 helium balloons, and I would be able to at least like, I wouldn't take fall damage anymore.
Well, I feel like it's my duty as the resident magician to tell you guys that David Blaine already did it.
With how many?
I don't know the
He
exact
died a
number.
bunch of balloons too. As a magic trick.
As a magic trick. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's what he does now.
I like what he has turned magic into being.
Yeah,
This is
stunts.
just- I'm gonna go to an all-you-can-eat buffet for 24 hours, and it's like, it's the famous magician David Blaine.
Or yeah, like he's just gonna produce frogs from his stomach And it's not magic, dude.
You
He's just
could-
carrying around frogs.
You could say he's a loon.
He is a loon. He's a loon. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. You could say that. And you could say that it's not magic, but we won't. We won't say that here. You can look at other videos for them to tell you that. But I dare not disrespect David Blaine.
Oh, yeah, first name basis, David.
Yeah, David. Volume 1, Chunky, this was the last comment, please.
This one comes from Brittany.
Oh.
Not sure if you guys reviewed it, but I highly recommend My Dress Up Darling. I wasn't going to get into it because of the ecchi elements, but it's such a good series and I can really feel the love for cosplayers that the author has. Not sure if they cosplay or if they just like cosplayers, but it's really good. Crying emoji.
Yes. So I've been recommended this series before, and I've seen it at Barnes & Noble, and it is wrapped. So you know what that means. And
You definitely know what that means.
There's only like 3 mangas I'm aware of that are wrapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have you seen
Berserk.
some of the unwrapped ones at Barnes & Noble?
We've been like, this should be wrapped.
Yeah.
Then
I'm not
what's
even
wrapped?
I'm not
Yeah.
even pro wrap it.
If this is unwrapped, then what's wrapped?
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, sorry, Megan. Go ahead.
it's okay. I've been seeing this, and I know it's coming out in this next season. Cloverworks is the studio.
It looks amazing, too.
It does
We
look
watched the trailer.
amazing, and she pretty much standard kind of like shut in or like a not very popular guy, and then a really popular girl has like an interest in like what he's doing, not because of any other reason, but she sees that he's sewing, and she's like, "Oh, are you sewing? Well, I'm gonna tell you my biggest secret. I want to cosplay." And I guess that's like,
Like a shocker.
yeah, like a shocker because she's just like so cool. you know?
And now, of course, she's been drawn to be conventionally unattractive, right?
No.
Okay.
No, she has cool piercings. She's like the most beautiful girl in the school.
I have a dark secret. I want to do a popular thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks very cute. I'm not one to stray away from the ecchi. So I'm excited.
What really sells me on it, by what Brittany, this commenter, is saying, is that it seems like the mangaka has a love for cosplay and the cosplay community, which is very important. Which, going back to Wotakoi, which we talked about earlier, does seem like they have a love. The mangaka has a love for all things otaku and has a very good understanding because either they themselves are or know people who are, but it just seems like a genuine and honest sort of interpretation of what finding love as an otaku is like. And so if that is the same feeling that I get from this cosplay series, then I think it's going to be great and I'd love to check it out.
Speaking of ecchi, and that's the thing too, where it's like, well, people like being like lewd at cosplay conventions, right? So it's not like that's like because like there's a video game writer of Metal Gear Solid, and he like when the last female character was just like wearing like a bikini with fishnets, and like, why did you do this? And he's like, I want to see girls cosplay like this at conventions.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm starting to design the and it's like they
Oh,
did.
sus.
The thing is they did. So it's not like he's like, oh, people will never do this. Like, it's very popular cosplay.
Yeah.
So
I don't necessarily know if it's like ecchi in the outfits that she's wearing. I mean, it definitely could be, but it could be just their relationship with
do they
each other.
constantly like stare at each other with their lips like 2 inches apart?
I hope so.
And then they're like, sorry, I need you to grab the needle. And she goes, oh my God, no, what the
Well, if you want to see us cover more of that, then we'll be happy to.
I'm excited.
But that's going to do it for the Wonder Circle. Before we go, we have to thank and shout out our wonderful, beautiful, amazing, our senpais, our Patreon members.
You guys are never annoying.
You guys are never
You guys
annoying.
are all loving. And I wish I had a senpai like you guys.
I drink a can of tea with them.
It looked like it could have been tea or coffee, but
No, it said tea on the can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a type
I've never been
specific
more
tea.
sure about
Okay.
anything in my life.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I would give my scarf to you.
There are scarves.
If you are.
And then have someone else give you a scarf after that.
Yeah, and I would take care of you guys if you were sick.
Oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I would let you take care of me while I was sick, if if you're into that kind of thing.
Lovesick.
Lovesick, and we
Love
are
Shack.
lovesick for all of you, and maybe with this Patreon money we'll get a love shack.
Oh.
That'll be a separate project.
Yeah, that'll be a
They
separate.
do a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
for that one.
Kickstarter. But thank you guys. It's because of your support that we get to do this more and more. We love and appreciate you guys, and it blows us away every day. Your support means the absolute world to us. And if you would like to become a Patreon member, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod. You get early access to all of our videos, and you get access to our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra, where we go deeper into us, our lives, what's happening culturally, what's happening in movies, what's happening in anime and manga, what's happening, again, just in our lives. So if that sounds interesting to you, or if you just want to support us, you can do that by going to patreon.com/volume1pod.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, but I don't have money. I can't financially support you. You know what you would be in that situation, Megan?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, and then I'll just tell you separately from that, which is you would be wrong.
Yeah.
And because I can't join the Patreon gang, what could they join?
You guys could join the algorithm gang. The algorithm gang is something that is you could join the gang, and if you could comment anything you want, you can comment a period, you can comment anything you want.
Could they comment a comma?
You could comment a comma, you can comment commas, you can comment
the
exclamation
song
mark.
Karma Chameleon.
Karma Chameleon, put a comment and then million. You can comment whatever you want, and it does act and help our algorithm out a lot. And what could it be considered?
Well,
what could it be considered?
It could be considered a tip, because we actually get more money based on engagement. So you can be like, little tip there for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it could be like.
It could be like that.
A tip for tap.
So whether you're part of the Patreon gang or the algorithm gang, or you're just here stopping by, we appreciate all of you, no matter how you choose to show your support. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today, Cody, you got one?
Don't annoy me, senpai.
Don't annoy me, senpai.
Don't annoy me,
I love
senpai.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
Don't annoy me, senpai.
You're so annoying. But I like you.
Yeah, but I kind of like how
I don't like him or anything.
That's good. That's good.